get testimonials or get, referrals, because I can give you probably at least 5 referrals you can call today and talk about how I've represented them, and Lynn can do the same. So those are the important things. And again, what we want to do is to be able to make sure that you get what you need out of the sale of your house, not what we need out of the sale of the house. That's the most important thing. We're going to use all the tools that we can to satisfy your needs, and that's why I've concentrated on where you're going forward to, because we can't really, again, represent the whole thing unless we know what your end goals are.
Okay. Well, I'll definitely, I do want to listen to the other agents, the other companies, and just get a good feel for such a big decision.
All right, Mike. Well, again, thank you very much for the opportunity to let Dale and I come here and talk to you. I'm going to leave you with the marketing analysis that I've mentioned, that we talked about, with all those graphics and statistics. And shall I give you a call tomorrow or in a couple of days?
Why don't you give me a call first of the week?
First of the week, okay.
It's going to take a few days by the time staggered over the rest of the week.
Okay. Well, if something comes up sooner, if you decide you do want to get on the market quicker, in case you've lost my number, there's my number. Certainly call me anytime.
Lynn, real quick before you guys wrap up, a topic that would always come up that didn't is a compensation model.
Oh yeah.
Is what?
And that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
That will never not go under.
I was kind of surprised. Yeah.
What
The what?
Compensation.
Yeah, commission.
Commissions were discussed, and that's always
It's either price for commission, commission or price for commission.
So,
yeah. So yeah, and that would have been hammered on that
so
too.
so you've asked. So what do you guys charge? Well, Mike, we normally charge 6%. We feel that that's warranted for the service we provide. And granted, there are a lot of budget discount brokerages out there, but again, I want to remind you, we're providing all the professional photography, virtual tour, as well as the 24/7 service that we provide. You don't want a discounted service provider selling your home, so we don't really feel we want to have to discount our fee to represent you either. And something else I want you to be aware of, the other 6 homes that are for sale in your neighborhood, I've looked at what their compensation, and again, the 6% that I mentioned, that's 3% for the selling agent, which is going to bring a buyer, and 3% for Zip Realty. I want to mention that the other homes in your neighborhood, I've looked at the compensation, which is available to all agents, and they range from 3% down to 1.5%. So let me ask you, if we're competing for the same buyer, and that agent is picking which homes to look at, which homes do you think he's going to bring his buyer to? The 3%, the ones that offer 3%, or the ones that offer 1.5%?
Well,
So I don't mean to put you on the spot and you have to answer that, but I just want you to think about that in terms of, how the commission comes into play in terms of selling your home. Okay?
Yeah, I know. I've been thinking of. Now I have thought about that before, but I'm one of those things too that I'll talk to the other agents, but in my mind, I'm thinking, and you brought it up, how many people are finding my house online? You're talking. You said 87%.
Are searching the
searching
internet.
on there and could potentially find my house online.
Correct.
So they found my house, and now if they like my house, why do I have to pay that high commission to bring people in when they're going to actually find my house before they even talk to you?
Well, you're still going to need somebody to negotiate the best deal on your behalf.
But also I'm thinking. I mean, I've been in sales for all my life, and I'm thinking, I know, and I understand, because let me tell you, I don't like to take less commission than I wanted to. But I'm thinking about the amount of time that you're going to spend selling my house if you listed this condo down the street for 500,000, so you're gonna spend 1/3 the amount of time trying to sell his property than you are mine? Or you're gonna spend 3 times, you're not gonna do the same job for that person, so you're gonna make 1/3 the commission there than you would here. So what are you doing for me that needs to be paid? Why couldn't you do it for 4.5 or 5%? Because the amount of money you're gonna make is so much more than you're making for lower properties.
Well, there's a lot fewer buyers that are looking for your home. So that's one of the hardest hurdles to overcome. We've got to find and get your home exposed to all the right avenues to find the buyer. There's a lot more people searching at the lower priced condos than detached homes such as yours.
And the other thing too, as you mentioned, and it's the price difference, and it's the liability that an agent in our company takes on, so that, we're representing you on $1.5 million home sale, whereas we're representing somebody in a $500,000 sale. So our commission would, inversely be more money because of the fact that we have much more liability. And again, that brings up another subject, that the difference between us and estates and previews is the fact that Zip Realty is one company, and we're a nationwide company which is publicly traded. We have a foundation and a structure that is larger than any other real estate company in the United States right now. Well, third largest, I think. And if you have a problem with your home selling, someone comes back to you and has an issue, you have a company like ours behind you that represents you, that's far more established than a previews office that's a one-man office franchise that's only as strong as that local broker. It doesn't have the representation behind it. So again, the 3% or what our commission is really based on the liability taken on by the sale of your home. And again, it's not just that we're finding a buyer on the internet. That's actually the easy part. Where the part comes into our representation of you is to make sure that we have a qualified buyer who's not going to string us along. So we really screen the buyer to make sure that the house, when it's sold, like I mentioned about the home inspection and everything else, that we represent you properly with the fact that, that you are not going to disclose something that's going to come back and be an issue with the buyer in the future. And so all those things that we do for you, managing the escrow, and coordinating the home inspections, working with the listing agent, or with the buying agent, and again representing you, making sure that the property is sold correctly. That's what we do for our commission. Finding the buyer is only basically the top of the stack. The rest is all that we really do to make sure that you've got qualified people representing you to get the value out of your house that you want, for one thing, but to also make sure that you maintain that value and then don't have any issues in the future.
Yeah, that'll certainly, make sense. And it'll be interesting after I talk to the other agents, and I know and I've been, like I say, been in sales so long, you get a feel, and so who people you trust and you like to work with, and so let me talk to the others, and please do give me a call back first of the week.
Will do. Mike, thank you again for the opportunity. And,
Thank you. Appreciate it. It was nice meeting you.
All right.
Now, before we get to any questions, I want to throw out, if he hadn't been so insistent on not making a decision till he got to talk to his other brokers over the next few days, I was debating whether to say, okay, if I dropped it to 5%, would you sign today? But I didn't think that would have any effect.
Well, the other issue is that he hasn't got a full decision.
He's not the decision maker.
Yeah, right.
But we may not get back in the door at 6%. That's a downside too.
Yeah, right.
The only I thought that was outstanding. My only input would be on the pricing, bringing up the fact that the first few weeks it's on the market is when you have the largest exposure of buyers,
Yeah,
and
first
that's
21
when
days,
you really
yeah.
want it priced well.
Yeah. And that is a very good point, I meant to bring that up, I forgot.
It's very hard to do this in front of your peers. I've done this numerous times. over the
Everybody's
years,
stiff,
Yeah, and so you're really
Totally
not
different.
yourself, right?
Yeah.
And,
Great. It's
so
outstanding.
you
It
would,
was
yes,
great.
you would, you're sharper when you're on your own with that client. Things come to you more quickly than when you're trying to do this.
We're making only
You know,
one
we're just trying
mistake,
to-
not 12.
Yeah.
No, really, no, I learned a lot from both of you, I just